Jamaica. Known worldwide for its music, culture, and breathtaking beauty. An island that gave birth to reggae and Rastafari. An island that embodies strength and resilience. But beyond the postcard paradise lies a different Jamaica, one where the sound of laughter is often interrupted by the crack of gunfire. For decades, violence has left deep scars on this nation. Scars that affect families, communities, and the very future of the island. To understand the violence of today, we must look at yesterday. Jamaica's history is marked by struggle, first against slavery and colonial rule, and later against inequality and poverty. By the 1970s, politics became a battlefield. Rival political parties armed neighborhood strongmen, known as Dons, to secure votes. Communities were divided by invisible borders, and loyalty was bought not with promises, but with guns. The politicians empowered the Dons, supplying them with weapons. It was about control of communities, control of votes. But when the politics shifted, the guns stayed behind. They never left the streets. What began as political tribalism grew into something more deadly: organized crime, drug trafficking, and decades of violence that still haunt the island today. Today, Jamaica's homicide rate ranks among the highest in the world. In some communities, violence is part of daily life, driven by gang rivalries, extortion, and the illegal drug and gun trade. For many young men, joining a gang isn't just a choice, it's survival. Sometimes it's not like you want to join, but if you don't, you're vulnerable. People target you. The gun becomes your shield, said one youngster. Law enforcement battles against heavily armed gangs, but the cycle of violence seems unending. We interviewed local law enforcement. This is what they had to say. We're outnumbered, outgunned. Every time we remove one weapon, 10 more find their way in. But the real challenge isn't just the gunmen, it's the desperation behind them. Jamaica spends millions each year on crime prevention and security, yet for residents in troubled communities, safety remains uncertain. Behind every statistic, there's a human story, a life interrupted. The cost of violence is measured not only in lives lost, but in lives disrupted. Children grow up in fear. Mothers bury their sons too soon. Communities are paralyzed by grief and mistrust. In some neighborhoods, children have learned to recognize the sound of different guns before they've mastered the alphabet. We interviewed a teacher from a local school. This is what she had to say. Some students can't focus. They've lost friends. They've lost family. I've seen a child put his head down at the sound of a book dropping because to him it sounded like a gunshot. This is the reality of our classrooms. Beyond fear, there is trauma. Psychologists warn that an entire generation is growing up with post-traumatic stress, shaped by violence before they reach adulthood. We interviewed a mother who lost her son. With tears flowing down her cheeks, she said, "He was only 17. He wanted to be an electrician. He said, 'Mommy, I'm going to change things for us.' One wrong step, and he never came home." For every life taken, there is a family left behind. The ripple effects stretch far beyond the crime scene, to schools, workplaces, and the nation's future. Year after year, governments have tried to curb the bloodshed. States of emergency are declared in crime-plagued parishes. New laws target gangs, weapons, and organized crime. Heavily armed security forces flood neighborhoods, trying to restore order. But these crackdowns are temporary. When the soldiers leave, the gunfire often returns. Behind the barricades, communities feel both protected and trapped. While some see the security presence as a lifeline, others see it as a cycle of raids, curfews, and fear. Law enforcement struggles against a powerful network of gangs and criminal organizations. Weapons flow in from abroad, feeding the violence. For every gun seized, more arrive through illegal trade routes. The justice system, overwhelmed and under-resourced, faces its own challenges. Trials can take years, prisons overflow, communities lose faith in the system meant to protect them. In the midst of despair, there are sparks of hope. Across the island, grassroots groups rise to counter violence with opportunity. In inner-city neighborhoods, sports become more than a game. Football fields and basketball courts provide safe spaces for young people, spaces where teamwork replaces conflict. Music, too, remains a powerful force. From reggae to dancehall, artists use their voices to call for peace, turning rhythms into rallying cries. Cultural expression becomes a shield against despair, a reminder that Jamaica's spirit is greater than its struggles. Non-profits and community leaders provide alternatives to the gun. Mentorship, education, and job training create pathways that violence seeks to block. These small victories are fragile, but they matter. Each life redirected from the path of crime is a seed of change. Violence in Jamaica is not just about numbers, it is about lives, stolen, altered, or saved. The island's story is one of resilience, where pain coexists with hope and struggle meets determination. The journey to peace is long and the challenges are real, but through unity, opportunity, and the power of community, Jamaicans continue to believe in a future where the sound of drums and laughter will drown out the sound of gunfire. Out of many, one people. Out of struggle, one hope.